Hi, I'm Melissa Santos, and I'm a UX designer. This is a Lyft personal project. I love using Lyft to get around San Francisco, but a user problem I discovered is that I can't communicate well with any drivers about having a dog. So my dog, she's really sweet, but she's kind of a nervous dog, so she doesn't do well with a lot of strangers reaching for her and unexpected contact. Now, surprises, whether they're between me and my dog or me and my driver, they can cause problems which can cause cancellations. So how can we resolve this? First, let me show you the existing flow. These are screenshots from the app in March 2022. And the only way that I can communicate with a driver in advance about my dog is to add a note during the booking. So I open the app and I go to enter where I'm going. Start typing in my destination as Andytown. I select Andytown Coffee Roasters, and here I am selecting a Lyft, the standard one, and I go ahead and select for sure. I get this nice little safety precaution toast, and now I can add my note for the driver. So I type that I have a nervous dog and to please ignore her and pull the seat forward. So I've typed it all out. I've used this many times, but I type it out every single time. And now I add the note for the driver. There's my note there, confirm where I'm going, where I'm being picked up, and I request it. And my request goes out into the driver ether. Thankfully, somebody agreed to pick me up. Now, how can we make this better? I want to show you this personal Lyft project where I leverage the existing Lyft design system, and this would probably be something that I'd show in the midpoint of the review process, and I would be soliciting feedback. So in that session, I would ask my stakeholders specifically what I was and wasn't looking for in terms of feedback, and let me show you a little bit more about what that feedback would be for. So I came up with this dog co-writer flow. This is, again, mid-fidelity from the writer's perspective. You'll see real screenshots from the app and some simplified UI that I made from scratch, as well as modified screenshots. What you'll see that I've added are a dog profile creation, how to add a dog writer, how to add a pre-saved note, and one screen from the driver's perspective showing you those dog details in that saved note. All right, so same situation. Open the app and I want to create my dog profile. So I'm going to settings and I'm going to view my profile and I'm going to add my dog profile using this text link. Now, just to descope it, I wasn't getting into discovery of this feature, but from here you'll see a little bit of education on what the feature is and how it works. So we've got an illustration that I've made and a header and body copy about the feature. So introduce your dog to drivers. To get the best rider-driver match, share details about your dog. We'll ask about their size, personality, and coat. All right, it looks like this is me with my dog and during the destination selection part of the flow. So it says, add your dog to rides. Change the rider profile to you and your dog when you request a ride. This shares your dog profile with potential drivers. So ideally, the drivers themselves can also filter for whether they accept pet rides or not. So I proceed to add a rider, and here's this sort of dog co-rider profile that I can make. I can add a photo, add their name, and I've got predetermined options for size, personality, and coat. So I'll go ahead and use this drop down to add their size. And we've got from very tiny to very large. So I select that she's this mid-sized dog. I do the same for personality and coat, and then use the existing interaction to add a photo and the name. So what that all looks like together is this. You see my dog's sweet little face. There's her name, Taters. She's a mid-sized dog, she's shy and sensitive, and she has short hair. This is all pertinent information for drivers to make a decision about whether they do or don't want to accept this ride. So I'm backing out of the profile section, and you can see that Taters is now added to my profile. I can tap back, and I'm going to back out of the settings menu, and now I'm going to say where I'm going. So now I see there's this little bubble that's highlighting this UI, and it says tap to add your dog. So I go ahead and tap it, and this toast comes up to change the rider. So this is a modified screenshot. The only thing I would have changed here really is that now you see me and my dog as a rider option. So I go ahead and tap to select it. The check mark reflects that it's selected, and I go ahead and use this X to close this toast. So now I'm back to entering in my destination, select this auto-filled address, and now you're on this very familiar select your Lyft screen. The only modification here is instead of seeing 3 people as the maximum riders here, it's gone down to 2 people and 1 dog. That's just to make sure that we have enough space for everyone to fit comfortably in the car. So I select my Lyft, same safety notice, and now I'm here to add a note. Now there's this new use saved note button. So I go ahead and tap that. If I wanted to go back to type it, I could just tap this again. And in it are these auto-saved notes that I have that I've previously entered. So I find my nervous dog one, I use it all the time, tap it, and it enters in this whole line of text for me. And I can still edit it if I want to. I'm happy with it, so I add the note for my driver. Everything looks good. Confirm and request. My request goes out to a driver. Now, here's the driver's view. When they get my request for a ride with my dog, they'll see my name, they'll see both myself and my dog, and our star rating, and all these little bits of information that were in my dog profile. It's very glanceable for them to say, oh, this is a medium-sized dog, they're kind of sensitive, and they have a short coat. I won't have to clean up much. And then there's this nice little note about the nervous dog, yada, yada, yada. Great, they go ahead and accept the ride. We're back to the rider view, and thankfully we've communicated well with our driver in advance. They've agreed to take us, and everyone's going to have a great trip to get coffee and run on the beach. So that is my personal Lyft project walkthrough. There's more details in my portfolio at wordsaredesign.com. Thanks so much for listening.